Good afternoon, and the first item of business this afternoon is time for reflection. And our time for reflection leader today is Jon-Cape, Coordinator of Fair Trade Stirling and member of Central Scotland Interfaith. Mr. Cape.
Thank you. Please close your eyes. Imagine that you are in bright sunlight. In front of you floats a beautiful bubble glimmering in the sun. You put your finger out to touch, but the bubble bursts. Now wake up. Last month, for the first time in human history, carbon dioxide in our atmosphere passed 400 parts per million. Climate change is for real, and climate is just one of 9 factors where we are pushing up against planetary boundaries. We need a game changer. In his seminal book, simply called Collapse, the author Jared Diamond outlines the stories of many societies which have faced huge environmental challenges. He examines the responses he examines their responses and distills the success factors which survived and which collapsed. And what did the survivors have in common? 2 big things. The societies which survived, 1, saw the problem early enough and planned ahead before the challenge became overwhelming. And 2, they shifted their values to be in tune with their new environment. All of these environmental challenges were local to just one or a few societies. For the first time, it's global. For the first time, it affects all human societies and all other species on Earth. Let's reflect on this. On the first of those, on planning, Scotland has led the UK and the world by setting a tough statutory framework for carbon emission reduction by 2050. The UN Durban talks followed this lead. If they stick, the world will follow Scotland in setting climate change targets which have legal force. Scotland still faces challenges in meeting its targets, as does the UN in setting theirs. But let us celebrate the lead that Scotland has taken. Can Scotland now rise to the challenge of leadership in responding to the second success factor? How do our values need to change? Big moral and economic values like climate justice, where Scotland has taken a lead, and everyday values too, like what the media industry calls news values. Wasn't climate change just a big story some 5 years ago? Is there scope to deepen the dialogue between Scotland's Parliament, our faith communities and our other opinion formers? Dialogue on values for a vulnerable world. At the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon has called for just such a dialogue, as he puts it, to make sustainability the rallying point for action in the 21st century. Let's do that in Scotland. Time to reflect and time to act. Together, let's keep that bubble safe before it bursts. So be it. Amen.
Thank you very much.